hyperinflation is already here. Like it's already like it isn't coming. It's like we're in the middle of it already. It just I don't think that people have quite realized it yet. And now I think that people are starting to understand. I mean, it's crazy how across the board there's been like a minimum of like 10 to 15% price hikes of everything that we consume for our business at every angle, and in some cases it's significantly higher.
Yeah, I mean, an easy way to think of inflation is like as a series of breaking dams, right? So inflation first shows up generally in labor, right? So the manufacturer, like in the e-commerce supply chain, right? The manufacturer is the first guy that gets pressed. And he sucks it up. He eats it for as long as he can eat it for until ultimately he capitulates, his dam breaks, and he has to raise prices on you, the brand, right?
Yeah,
the brand.
You get all these emails of
like,
you've had the same pricing for 2 years. We really hate to do this to you, but prices are going up 8%. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then you, the brand, are like, oh, my price went up 8%. You grit your teeth, you gut it out for 6 to 9 months, and then your dam breaks, and you raise prices to your retailer or your distributor.
Yep.
Same deal. They gut it out for a few months, and then finally they raise prices on the consumer, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a while for it to ripple through, and I think we're starting to see it reach the consumer end stage of consumer prices are going up.
Yeah, and I think there is a phenomena on like something like a platform like Amazon where that final dam is the hardest one to break, that one where you raise prices to consumers, because everyone is afraid to be the first one to raise their prices and see their sales go down. So like a lot of direct-to-consumer private label brands like ourselves are just like, oh man, well, I don't want to be the one to go from $11.99 to $12.99 first, because like everyone else is still at $11.99. And you're just worried about the Amazon algorithm and the flywheel. You like raise the price and you start losing some sales. You start losing ground to the other guy. But your 25% margins are now 4% or something because you're afraid to change your pricing. Yeah. It's just like you're backed in a corner a little bit.
I will give you actually one anecdote that might encourage some people. I don't expect this to happen all the time, but we have one of our products and there's sort of like a knockoff one that's priced a couple bucks cheaper. And we really wanted to raise price, given everything we've talked about, but we were like, then this guy's going to be like, 25% cheaper than us. He's going to be notably cheaper. But we said, let's test it. We raised the price like significantly. And like 3 days later, I checked back, he chased us up. And we were like, hallelujah, right? Like, this is great. So he's right where he was, a couple bucks below us, but both of our prices high. Like inflation successful, right? Yeah. Right. Like the whole market kind of moved. And so we were really glad because he was feeling the same pain. It was like a game of chicken.
Yeah.
So we went up. He goes, oh, thank God I can go up too. And he did within days.
It reminds me of when I was a very young adult. My first job was doing accounting for a series of gas stations that this guy that I ended up knowing owned. And it reminds me of like gas stations on opposing corners where like you're trying to, and so the guy across the street from this particular gas station, this guy owned an Exxon, the guy across the street was a Sunoco, and the guy always wanted to be 1 penny below. And he would chase my guy's gas station either direction. He would go, if we went up, he would go up, but he would be 1 penny behind. He always wanted to be 1 penny behind. And like at one point, the owner of the gas station that I work for, literally had his gas down to a penny. He couldn't go to zero because like the machine wouldn't let it. But like they got in this fight, and it was on the local news, and there was like lines up and down Smoke Tree Road for like a mile for like people trying to come get petty gas because like these two millionaires are fighting each other on the price of their gas. And but it also, like I said, it worked in the other direction, which is a good lesson to learn. You'll be surprised. I mean, everybody wants to raise their price in this environment, right? Is really the lesson here. We're all feeling the same pain, so it's just like let's all kind of like flock together like a school of fish or birds or something. We see them in nature do it. We can do the same thing in e-commerce.
Right. So if you're listening, raise your prices. We're all trying to raise our prices.
Hey, you competitor that stole our ice pack ideas and have been competing against us for the last couple of years, I'm going to raise my price. You can do what you want here, but here we go. This is a good time for us all to make a little bit of money.
That's right.